There are moments in life when everything feels slightly off. Effort is there, intention is pure, yet outcomes slip away like water through open fingers. You may call it bad luck, misfortune, or unseen resistance, but pause for a moment and observe more deeply. What if it is not that luck has abandoned you, but that your energy has been scattered, unguarded, and quietly taken by the noise of the world? The ancients understood something subtle. Life moves through balance. When your inner state is disturbed through stress, envy around you, constant worry, or even your own restless thoughts, your path becomes clouded. Opportunities still exist, but you stop recognizing them. Doors still open, but you hesitate at the threshold. Salt has long been a symbol of grounding. It absorbs, stabilizes, and protects. Intention and quiet strength. It's been associated with clarity, intention, and quiet strength. Together, they do not create magic in the way stories suggest, but they remind your mind and space to return to order. Before April 12th, take a simple action with full awareness. Place a small amount of salt and a few bay leaves in a hidden corner of your living space, somewhere undisturbed. As you do this, do not rush. Let your breath slow, let your thoughts settle. This is not about superstition, it is about intention. You are creating a small ritual that signals to your mind, I am reclaiming my focus. I am restoring balance. The world outside may remain chaotic, but your inner world does not have to mirror it. When you consciously create moments like this, something shifts. Not because luck suddenly appears, but because your awareness sharpens. You begin to notice what you are missing. You act with more calm, more certainty. And what people call luck starts aligning with your actions. Understand this clearly, nothing external can truly steal what is rooted within you. But distraction, fear, and imbalance can make it feel that way. So instead of chasing luck, protect your clarity. Instead of fearing loss, strengthen your presence. The salt grounds you, the bay leaf focuses you, but it is your awareness that transforms everything. And when your awareness becomes steady, even the smallest opportunity becomes enough. Luck is often misunderstood. What feels like lost luck is usually a result of inner imbalance, distraction, or negative energy, not something truly stolen. What many people call luck is often misunderstood, shaped more by perception than by reality itself. When things begin to go wrong, plans failing, opportunities slipping away, or efforts not bearing fruit, it is easy to believe that something external has been taken from you, as if luck were a possession that could be stolen. But look more closely, and you will see that what feels like lost luck is often the result of something quieter and closer to you, a shift in your inner state. When the mind becomes restless, scattered by worry, or weighed down by comparison and doubt, your sense of direction weakens. You begin to act without clarity, to decide without stillness, and to move without awareness. In such a state, even the right path can appear uncertain. Opportunities may stand directly before you, yet you fail to recognize them. This is not because they are absent, but because your perception has been clouded. The idea that luck has been taken from you can create a subtle kind of fear. It encourages you to search outside yourself, to blame unseen forces or other people, and to feel as though you are no longer in control of your own life. But this belief itself deepens the imbalance. The more you think your fortune depends on something external, the more disconnected you become from the steady center within you. In truth, nothing essential can be stolen from you in the way you might imagine. What can be disturbed, however, is your focus, your calm, and your ability to respond wisely. These are the qualities that often get mistaken for luck. When they are strong, life seems to flow with ease. When they are weakened, even simple tasks feel heavy and uncertain. Consider how often distraction pulls you away from the present moment. Thoughts of the past create regret, while worries about the future create anxiety. Between these two, your attention is constantly divided, and in that division, your effectiveness fades. What you call bad luck is often the natural outcome of this lack of presence. When you begin to restore your awareness, even gradually, something changes. You notice details you once overlooked. You respond instead of reacting. You move with intention instead of impulse. Slowly, the same world that once felt uncooperative begins to reveal its possibilities again. So rather than asking where your luck has gone, ask where your attention has gone. Rather than fearing that something has been taken, observe what has been neglected within you. In doing so, you shift from helplessness to understanding. And in that understanding, you realize that what you were searching for was never truly lost. It was simply waiting for you to become still enough to see it again. Inner state shapes outer results. Stress, worry, and surrounding negativity cloud your awareness, causing you to miss opportunities that are already present. The state of your inner world quietly shapes everything you experience in the outer world, yet this truth is often overlooked. Many people focus only on circumstances, money, timing, connections, or chance, believing these are the forces that decide success or failure. But beneath all of that, there is something more subtle at work, the condition of your mind. When your inner state is unsettled, even favorable conditions can feel unhelpful. And when your inner state is steady, even difficult situations begin to reveal hidden possibilities. Consider how stress influences your perception. When the mind is tense, it narrows. You begin to focus only on what is going wrong, overlooking what is still working in your favor. Small problems appear larger than they are, and simple decisions feel overwhelming. In such a state, hesitation replaces action and doubt replaces confidence. This is how opportunities are missed, not because they never arrived, but because your state of mind could not receive them. Worry has a similar effect. It pulls your attention into imagined futures, filling your thoughts with outcomes that have not yet happened. You begin to prepare for failure before it exists, and in doing so, you drain your energy in advance. This leaves you with less clarity and strength when it is actually needed. Again, this can feel like bad luck, as if life is working against you, when in reality your own attention has been divided and weakened. The influence of others also plays a role. When you are surrounded by negativity, whether through people, environments, or even the content you consume, your inner balance becomes disturbed. You may begin to absorb fear, comparison, or envy without realizing it. These quiet influences shift your mindset, and over time they shape your actions. When your actions change, your results naturally follow. Yet it may still appear as though luck has turned against you. What is often missed is that your awareness acts like a lens. When it is clear, you see things as they are. When it is clouded, everything becomes distorted. A clear mind recognizes timing, sees patterns, and responds with calm precision. A clouded mind reacts impulsively, misjudges situations, and creates unnecessary obstacles. The difference between these two states is subtle, but its impact is profound. Restoring your inner balance does not require anything complicated. It begins with simple awareness, observing your thoughts without immediately believing them, noticing your emotions without being controlled by them. When you pause, even briefly, you create space between stimulus and response. In that space, clarity returns. As clarity grows, your actions naturally improve. You make decisions with greater confidence, communicate more effectively, and approach challenges with patience rather than panic. From the outside, this may appear as if your luck has improved. Others may even say that things are suddenly going your way. But what has truly changed is not the world around you, it is your ability to engage with it. In this way, what people call luck is often a reflection of alignment between your inner state and your outer actions. When that alignment is strong, life feels smoother, more responsive, and more supportive. When it is weak, everything feels like a struggle. So instead of chasing better circumstances, begin by steadying your mind. Instead of waiting for luck to return to awareness. Because when your inner world becomes clear and balanced, the outer world begins to respond in ways that once seemed out of reach. Symbolism of salt and bay leaves. Salt represents grounding and protection, while bay leaves symbolize clarity and intention. Together they help reset your mental and emotional state. Salt and bay leaves have been used across generations, not because they hold mysterious powers on their own, but because they serve as simple physical reminders of something deeper: order, intention, and awareness. In a world where the mind is constantly pulled in different directions, these small symbols bring you back to stillness. They are not tools of magic, but anchors for attention. Salt, in its quiet simplicity, represents grounding. It is stable, unchanging, and essential. When you look at salt, you are reminded of what it means to be steady. In life, grounding is often lost when you are overwhelmed by thoughts, emotions, or external pressures. You begin to feel scattered, as if parts of your energy are being pulled in too many directions at once. This scattered state weakens your ability to focus, to decide, and to act with purpose. By associating salt with grounding, you give your mind a symbol to return to, a way to remind yourself to come back to the present moment where clarity exists. Bay leaves, on the other hand, carry a different meaning. They have long been associated with clarity, intention, and quiet strength. Their shake is simple yet distinct, and they have been used in various traditions as a representation of focused thought. When you bring bay leaves into your space, you are not invoking anything external, you are setting a mental direction. You are telling yourself in a quiet and deliberate way that your thoughts should move with purpose rather than drift aimlessly. When these two elements are brought together, they create a balance between stability and direction. Grounding without direction can leave you still but unproductive. Direction without grounding can make you restless and impulsive. But when both are present, your actions become calm and intentional. This is where real change begins, not in sudden shifts but in steady alignment. The act of placing salt and bay leaves somewhere in your space is important, not because of the objects themselves, but because of how you do it. If done carelessly, it becomes meaningless. But if done with awareness, it becomes a moment of focus. As you place them, your mind slows down. Your breathing becomes more steady. For a brief moment, you are fully present. That presence is what begins to restore balance. In that moment, you are no longer lost in worry about the future or regret about the past. You are simply aware. And in awareness, there is clarity. From clarity comes better decisions, and from better decisions come better outcomes. This chain of change is often mistaken for luck, when in reality it is the natural result of a focused mind. Symbols like these work as the human mind responds to what it can see and touch. Abstract ideas like focus or balance can be difficult to hold on to, but a simple object can remind you of them instantly. Each time you notice the salt or the bay leaves, you are gently brought back to your intention. Over time, this repeated awareness strengthens your inner stability. You become less reactive, less distracted, and more deliberate in your actions. And as this change deepens, the feeling that something is missing or has been taken from you begins to fade. What returns instead is a sense of control, not over everything that happens, but over how you meet it. And in that quiet control, life begins to feel more aligned, more responsive, and far less dependent on something as uncertain as luck. Power of intentional rituals. Placing salt and bay leaves mindfully is not superstition, but a focused act that helps restore balance and reclaim control over your thoughts. Simple actions, when done with full awareness, carry a depth that is often overlooked. In a world that values speed and constant activity, the idea that a small, quiet ritual can create meaningful change may seem unimportant. Yet it is precisely in these moments of intentional stillness that the mind begins to reset. The act itself may appear ordinary, but the way you engage with it transforms its impact. When you choose to place something as simple as salt and bay leaves in your space, the physical movement is only a small part of what is happening. What truly matters is the attention you bring to it. If your mind is distracted thinking about 10 other things, the action becomes empty. But when you slow down and become fully present even for a minute, the quality of your awareness changes. Your breathing deepens, your thoughts begin to settle, and the constant noise within you starts to quiet. This shift may feel subtle, but it is significant. Most of the time, people move through their day without ever fully arriving in a single moment. The mind jumps from one thought to another, from past to future, rarely resting in what is actually happening. This continuous movement creates a kind of inner fatigue. You may not notice it directly, but it affects how you think, how you feel, and how you respond to everything around you. A mindful ritual interrupts this pattern. It creates a pause, a small space where you are no longer being pulled in different directions. In that pause, you regain a sense of control, not by forcing anything, but by simply being aware. This awareness allows you to observe your thoughts instead of being carried away by them. It gives you the ability to choose your next action with clarity rather than habit. What makes such rituals powerful is not repetition alone, but consistency combined with intention. Each time you perform the act with awareness, you strengthen a habit of presence. Over time, this habit begins to extend beyond the ritual itself. You find yourself becoming more attentive in other parts of your life while speaking, listening, working, or making decisions. This gradual expansion of awareness changes the quality of your entire experience. It is easy to dismiss simple practices because they do not produce immediate dramatic results. But real change rarely happens in sudden bursts. It builds quietly, layer by layer, through repeated moments of clarity. A single mindful action may seem small, but when it is practiced regularly, it reshapes how you relate to your thoughts and your surroundings. As your awareness grows stronger, you begin to notice patterns that were previously invisible. You recognize when your mind is becoming restless, when emotions are influencing your decisions, or when you are about to react without thinking. This recognition gives you the opportunity to pause and adjust. In doing so, you prevent small disturbances from turning into larger problems. From the outside, these changes may appear as improved outcomes, better timing, or increased luck. But what is really happening is that you are no longer moving unconsciously. You are engaging with life in a more deliberate and balanced way. In this sense, the ritual is not about changing the world around you. It is about changing the way you meet the world. And when that changes, your experience of everything else begins to shift as well, quietly, steadily, and in ways that feel both natural and lasting. Awareness is true luck. Real change comes from sharpened awareness and calm presence. When your mind is clear, opportunities become visible and actionable. What people often call luck is rarely something random or external in the way it appears. It is more often the natural result of awareness, timing, and the ability to respond wisely to what is already present. When your mind is clear and steady, you begin to notice opportunities at the right moment. You make decisions with greater confidence and you act without unnecessary hesitation. From the outside, this can look like luck, as if life is suddenly favoring you. But in truth, it is your awareness aligning with your actions. When awareness is weak or clouded, the opposite happens. You may overlook simple chances, delay important decisions, or react emotionally in situations that require calm thinking. These small missteps accumulate, creating outcomes that feel like misfortune. Over time, this pattern reinforces the belief that luck is not on your side. But what is really happening is a disconnect between your attention and your actions. Awareness sharpens everything. It allows you to see clearly what is in front of you instead of being distracted by what is not. You begin to recognize patterns in your life, what works, what doesn't, and why. This understanding reduces confusion and replaces it with quiet certainty. When you act from this place, your choices become more effective and your efforts begin to produce better results. Calm presence plays an equally important role. When you are calm, you are not rushed by fear or pressured by urgency. You can pause, consider, and choose the most appropriate response. This does not mean moving slowly or avoiding action, it means acting without inner chaos. A calm mind can move quickly when needed, but it does so with precision rather than panic. As these qualities develop, something subtle begins to change in how life unfolds around you. Situations that once felt overwhelming become manageable. Interactions with others become smoother because you are listening more and reacting less. Even challenges start to reveal opportunities within them because you are able to look beyond the immediate difficulty. This is why awareness is often mistaken for luck. When someone consistently makes good decisions, notices the right moments, and responds effectively, it appears as though they are simply fortunate. But behind that appearance is a disciplined clarity of mind that is present enough to engage fully with each situation. It is important to understand that this does not remove uncertainty from life. Not everything will go as planned, and not every effort will succeed. However, when your awareness is strong, you are better equipped to adapt. Instead of being thrown off balance by setbacks, you learn from them and adjust your approach. This resilience further strengthens your ability to navigate future situations. Over time, the idea of chasing luck begins to fade. You no longer depend on unpredictable outcomes to feel secure or confident. Instead, you trust your ability to respond, to observe, and to act with clarity. This shift changes your relationship with success and failure alike. In the end, what you once called luck reveals itself as something much more reliable and within your reach. It is the result of a mind that is attentive, a presence that is steady, and actions that are aligned with understanding. When these come together, life may still be uncertain, but it no longer feels random. And in that steadiness, you realize that what you were seeking was never something to be found outside, it was something to be cultivated within, moment by moment. Through awareness itself,